Well, I'm so happy. Oh my God. Okay, so yep. So I decided to do this one like as our first hangout on air. So anyway, I just wanted to like get everybody the opportunity to introduce themselves because going forward,
Okay.
we'll have people, eventually joining us because what you can do is on Google Hangouts, the way on air works is like if you're looking for a specific group based on a specific, particular topic, you can
Uh-huh.
actually join that group on air, and participate in the live conversation.
Yeah.
So we are live this time, but no worries. I said, look at Kathy. She looks like an anchor. She's our anchor lady. She looks, she did real
Awesome.
good. Yeah, she looks awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know. You guys, I'm just telling you, I'm so excited because see, me and Kathy, we've been talking about this manifestation thing for a long time. I'm just saying that's how I met Kathy in the first place because, just I guess we were doing like what we're calling manifestation experiments or whatever. And
Mhm.
so, like I was just telling her a second ago, if I'm not seeing something that I'm expecting, then I've got to get down to the bottom of it. I've got to figure out, well, why, what's happening here? Because I know, how I am. I usually, if it's something, just small or insignificant, I won't say that it's insignificant because any manifestation is like proof positive of your power, as a part of universal consciousness or the source, source energy. So if I'm wanting something and I'm not seeing the results I guess I expected, then I'm going to start digging deeper because something is wrong. Something is happening. Something is going on here that
Mhm.
I know, because I know how easy it is for me to manifest. And I'm not having this until I see what I want. I've done jobs, I've done houses, I've done cars, I've done, but it seems like my biggest issue really always is money. So, I've manifested various different amounts of money, but I'm looking for a specific, things in my financial life to go a specific direction.
Mhm.
So I've been like over several months, just going back and forth, about this whole money situation because I have to be honest, baby, I want to retire. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to move out of expecting money to come from a job where I have to go and clock in 8 hours a day to make, so many dollars. Because we all know like when you go to a job, they're offering you a certain amount of dollars for you being there for 8 hours a day. If you don't come, that means you don't get your money, or if you don't have like sick time, or if you don't have vacation time, or something like that, then you're always trapped in that same cycle. And I'm not feeling that. I'm just like, okay, now I want my manifestation, of a certain amount of money. I don't, I'm saying I have my ideas where I would like it to come from, but I've kind of changed a little bit, somewhat. And I've had to break down a lot of beliefs that I have in my own mentality,
Mhm.
to get me to that place. And so I really started looking at, like I started learning about, source energy and who we really are. And the whole thing is what I really came to find out, and I'm still working on this, however, is that, we are source. Even the Bible says, ye are gods. Look it up, it's there. Ye are gods. And so I was like, okay, now, what is Jesus really trying to say? And what are we, who are we really? Because I'm like, okay, now if I'm source, and that's a lot of the videos that I've been listening to and stuff like on the internet about universal consciousness and, you know, source energy and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, now we basically the understanding that I've come to basically is that we make a decision to come here. We kind of like source splits itself into many 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 people basically, and so the shell or the body that we're in is like our um it's our whole, or it's our way to view this physical plane, through the eyes of source. And we're all here, we're all one being, but we're all here having different experiences, based on what we chose to come here to see, do, or accomplish, or be, or whatever.
Mhm.
And so it's really been cool because the work that I've been doing, I've been starting to kind of, it's starting to trickle in, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm starting to see different dollars trickle in. I've gotten some overtime at work. Now, see, this is the whole thing. Now, don't mistake the fact that just because you want to get out of one thing and go to something else, that your money won't start to come even from the avenue, in which you're already in. You know what I'm saying? So over time, somehow I always end up getting stuck on the phone, talking another half an hour, to other people. So I'm like, okay, this is giving me overtime. So I'm like, okay, that's a blessing. I can't be mad about that. I'm not going to say I don't want it. I'm not going to say I'm not thankful for it or whatever. But then I got a couple checks in the mail. Not for a whole lot of money, you know what I'm saying, but for some money. So I mean, I'm starting to see some stuff, and then I got a gift certificate which I showed Cathy last Monday, for up to $150. What happens? This club that we're a part of, it's called Buckhead Restaurant Life Group. And what they do is all summer long, they send you a $25 gift certificate to eat at their restaurant. And when you use it in June, they'll send you another $25 gift certificate for July. Then they'll send you another gift certificate. Once you use that one, they'll send you another gift certificate for August. And then once you use the one in August, they'll send you another gift certificate for $25 to use in September. So I said, now see, that's something, you know what I'm saying? That's money
definitely
that,
something. Yeah. It's
yeah,
like in the sense of it's. I mean, that's what they make those programs for. But either
right,
way, it's a free. It's something that's coming your way that you would have had to
right,
pay and spend
exactly.
money
Yeah,
for. But
right,
you know,
yeah,
so
exactly.
definitely that's awesome.
So it's coming in different forms. So I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to say, and this is another thing. I play Powerball and sometimes I play Mega Millions. Well, typically in the past, I've gotten up to 3 numbers on Powerball, and typically I have not up until now experienced getting the Powerball. So in other words, I would get like 2 or 3 of the regular numbers, but never the Powerball. So now it's jumped to me getting a regular number in the Powerball, a regular number in the Powerball, a regular number in the Powerball. So I'm like, okay, I got 4 numbers total. I got the Powerball. There's 6 numbers total. So I'm like, okay. So I mean, I'm just seeing where things are kind of going. So it's like, and I'm getting it more frequently. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I'm seeing that my energy is raising to that point. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't know if it's going, because I play Mega Ball, I play I'm sorry, Powerball, Mega Millions sometimes. I play Publishers Clearinghouse. And so I've changed my mentality. I mean, it could come from anywhere. Someone could just give me some money. Someone could, because I've heard people say that somebody else won the lottery and gave her some money. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. You don't want to like drill it down to the place where it's got to come from this particular place. But the whole thing is raising your energy up and becoming one and syncing with source energy to know that all of your possibilities exist. So that leads me into the next conversation that I really wanted to have about multi dimensions, multiple parallel realities. And so this one guy, I thought it was really interesting because I listened to Abraham, I listened to Bashar, and I don't know if you guys, either one of y'all, have heard about. These are people who channel energy, or they're really channeling their higher self, is what they're really doing. Because when you are synced with Source, all the answers to the questions you could possibly have will download to you in an instant. And so I'm just seeing, I'm making an effort to always be synced up with source so that I can get my answers to my solutions, so that whenever I get to the vibrational level that I'm ready to receive my millions, or that's which is really what I'm looking for. I want millions. So whenever I get to that level, I want to be synced with source to such a degree that when the answer comes to me, go play the Powerball. Or because I've heard this over and over again. I've heard testimony after testimony after testimony of people who have won this money. They said, you know what, I had a dream. I saw the numbers in a dream, and I went and played the numbers, and it fell. And then there's been people who have said, let me see, what else. What else was it? Um,
I can use an
oh,
example. My
yeah. Go
recently
ahead.
my mom's boyfriend had a dream,
Hmm.
and he had dreamed of some numbers.
Hmm.
And usually he plays the lottery like with his mom and like the family up in DC and stuff.
Hmm.
But he wasn't able to play that day because he didn't have money. He called his
Hmm.
mother, She only had $1 to pay
Mm-hmm.
play a ticket, and
Mm-hmm.
she played his number, and he got $500.
Okay. See?
That,
So,
an example. And
hey,
I was like, Jesus, where's my
I know that,
$500
what?
lottery ticket?
Yeah, it's there.
But
And
that's pretty
now
cool.
I'm telling you, see, that's the thing. I didn't understand. See, and I've been going back, I had been listening to these people telling me various different things over the last, like, say, 6 months. And see, the whole thing, what happens is the closer that you get in synced with source, the more you start to understand exactly where they're coming from. Because see, when you're out of sync with your source, with source energy, people can be telling you stuff, but you won't understand what they mean until you start getting closer. It's like being close with God. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call him, source, God, creator, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, whatever you're calling God, that is your source. And you got to get in there in order to be able to hear what your answer is, because really source is your higher self telling you what the answer is. So I've been going back listening to some of the same stuff I had been listening to, plus some new stuff. And now, whereas the stuff that they were telling me at first when I was hearing it, I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm still like, I'm like, this is still frustrating me because I hear what you're saying. I've done this in the past, but I just don't understand why it's not coming. I don't understand it. But now, when I go back and listen to the same stuff, I'm like, that's right. That's right. And I couldn't understand it, but Bashar said when you are out of sync with source, people can tell you all day long how to get the answer to your question. However, if you're out of sync with source, you can hear the answer and you're not going to hear it because you're not in sync. You're thinking that somebody's telling you something and it's frustrating you when actually it's your answer is right here, but you can't see it because you're
I'm
blocked.
guessing it's the vibration, yeah, because your understanding is not as high as these other people's
Right.
understandings are in open-mindedness and
Exactly.
just being willing, being understanding,
Hmm.
optimistic,
Right, right,
and all these, other things. People that really want to win down here, people are telling them, what they need to do. They
right.
don't understand because they don't got that level of understanding with vibration.
Hmm.
It's not quite
Exactly.
there. So when rising it, you hear it.
So I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe this stuff was right in front of me and I didn't see it. But see, because I manifest stuff all the time. But see, in my mind, when I think about manifesting, say maybe a car, I'm thinking it's over here, you know what I'm saying, down here at this level. But if I think about manifesting, let's just say $50,000, you know what I'm saying, just straight cash, in your mind, if you're not synced up with source, your mind automatically starts to resist that thought because you're thinking it's something that's up here. It's never been, like, let's just say, for instance, it's something that's not in um, your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? You have thoughts that are part of your memory, you know what I'm saying? And since you've never manifested anything at so-called this level, it's like you have nothing to relate it to. So you're like, you know, totally like mind blown. Like, how do you do that? I don't understand this. I can do all this other stuff, but why am I not getting this right here? That's what I kept asking myself. I said, what's the difference? What is the difference? What is the difference between somebody saying, here, I can't afford this house, you can just have it? I'm like, what's the difference? What's the difference between me going somewhere and I said to myself, I'm going to get a Lincoln Navigator. I go to the dealership, I had $1,500 in my hand. The man wanted $3,600 for it, down, I'm saying. And he said, well, this is how much I want down. I said, well, I got $1,500. But see, I already knew in my spirit I was going to get that truck before I got there. He says, I'll take that. And so it was like because my I was already there. I was in that vibration of this. This is happening. This is going down. So it just happened. What's the difference between me getting excited over watching Cookie in a fur coat and saying, you know what, that's a badass fur coat. I want one just like that, and it popping up the next day? What's the difference? Vibrationally, there is nothing different within any, you know what I'm saying? Everything that manifests, it's going to manifest if you believe it. So I'm like, okay, I got to get myself to the place where I stop believing or thinking that there is something wrong with me or some reason why I can't get this money. What is it? So that's really what I've been doing. I've been working on this strong and hard, and I finally came to the conclusion. So now I just got to hold it. I got to hold it. I got to hold this vibration and not let anything break my concentration. As far as I'm concerned, I've gone to a whole new reality. So I cannot afford to keep looking at, what used to be. That's one of the things that I really had just learned over the last like week or so is, like your memory consists of these thoughts, and we default back to the same old thought, and every thought you have is creating who you are in your reality on this plane. So the whole thing was that I found out and said, okay, if you want to see something different than what you've been seeing, then you're going to have to start seeing something different than what you keep allowing yourself to see. So therefore, I can't sit here and go, oh, my refrigerator's empty. Oh, my car is on low. Oh, this, oh, that. And see, when I thought back to it, when I was doing that stuff and I was manifesting like that and like that and like that, I did not have any fear. I did not have any doubt. I wasn't looking at the past. I was only looking forward. I kept looking forward to what I can do, to what I can have, to what I can be. And I remember that. And I'm like, oh my God. So you mean to tell me I've been sitting here stressing out, looking at all this stuff around me, my current situation, and recreating the same thing over and over and over again? That's the problem. So I was just like, oh my God. So now it's like I'm set. I'm not letting anything. I'm done. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm not about to keep going through the same stuff. So I made a decision in my own mind. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not gonna let this stuff keep making my reality be the same goddamn thing I keep seeing over and over. Excuse my language, but I just gotta say it like that because that's how I feel. Because I'm tired. You have to come to that place to where you get tired of seeing the same bullshit. So if you want to see something different, you got to do something different, and that's just the bottom line. I mean, I experience this with myself all the time. I started noticing the thoughts that were running through my mind. I said, wait a minute, hold on. I had to catch myself. Wait a minute. I'm thinking that same old damn thought that would cause me to go back, back to the same reality, I'm like, oh, no, this has got to stop. This has got to stop because I'm sick of it. I'm tired. So that's where I am. So I'm like, okay, I'm holding this until I see my reality change. I'm done. I'm done looking at the same old bullshit. I'm tired, and I already know. And then the one thing the guy said in the video was, he's like, when you get to that point, because the scientific thing of it is that there's a thing called duality in universal principle, and it's like, okay, what is that? Oh, is that Cathy? Oh, she just sent a message saying she just got knocked off. Oh no. So I have to stop talking. I'm so sorry. So I got so carried away until I forgot. I didn't even look down to see if she was still in here. Anyway, but I got to get my notes on this part right here because I was like, this is so awesome. So in other words, like manifesting like in the physical plane is kind of like, let's see, it's a paradox. It's like in order for you have to collapse. Oh God, it's kind of hard. I mean, I understand it, but it's like, that double slit experiment where when the observer is watching something happen, like it's when they shot protons. This is a real experiment. They shot protons through a slit in a board to a background, and like they watched it go through there, and it hit the background like they had got, I guess, anticipated. But then when they did the double slit where they put two slits into the board, as the observer was watching it, it's like the particle, instead of acting like a particle, it acted like a wave instead. So they were like, wait a minute. The only difference is that there's an observer observing this, this demonstration. So how is it that a particle acts like a particle if there's no observer involved, but then it acts like a wave if there is someone involved? So that's what started opening the scientific community up to the fact that we live in a universe, right? Exactly, an energetic universe where the person who is participating is actually the person who is creating this reality. Oh, okay. And so basically the way that this guy explained it is that let's see, let me see if I can explain it. I don't know if I can explain it yet. I mean, I just got a grasp on it myself, so it's kind of like I don't quite have the ability to explain it just yet, but it's like I notice this about myself. I notice this when I just default to my old way of thinking. It's like I'm being dragged back to that lower vibration, that lower polarity. But when I actively, what I'm saying, when I actively make that decision that I don't care what I see right now, something's about to change. That's when I, as the observer, am actually putting, putting that necessary exertion of force to make things happen. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like I say, hopefully I can get this down pat to the place where I can explain it to other people but I can always send you guys the video. But it's awesome. It's awesome. Because I'm a scientific mind anyway until this guy explained it in such a way that it hit me what my problem was, what I kept doing, and how to correct the whole thing. So but it's the same thing as faith. It's the same thing as faith. It's the same thing as belief. It's the same thing I was doing back in the day when I had no doubt. I had no doubt. And everything, anything and everything that I even had stuff manifest. I didn't even speak it out of my mind. I mean, out of my mouth. I just had a thought, and the stuff was manifesting. So, and that's how people on higher dimensions, communicate. And that's what he was saying was there are people on higher dimensions who they instantly manifest, and there's no need for mental communication. You can think something and relate it to another person, and they pick up on it, immediately, just like that. And as we know, even on this realm, we can do parts of this too. We're just not tapping into who we are. We're not fully tapped in. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Amara. I'm so sorry. You go ahead.
No, it's okay. I have a question. Like, when you say observer, was there actually a camera, or was there somebody there physically?
Yeah, I think they were there physically.
I see.
But I don't think there's a difference in quantum communication. I don't think there's a difference between whether, like, let's just say you were observing an experiment physically in front of something, or whether you were observing it from another room through a camera. I don't really think there's a difference because quantum communication is all the same. It works through astral realms, rather than physical realms.
I see, but even if there's cameras, like there wouldn't be a difference between if somebody who's a physical, like even if you were, miles away observing this type of experiment, but the only medium between you and that is actually the camera. Through electronic transmission, is there going to be a difference? Because I remember I did see the double slit experiment, and it was an animation, but they were showing a camera seeing the photons go through the slits. But when there was an observer, I don't exactly remember if the person was there, a physical observer, if that was the real difference or not. Because if so, that might mean that there's some form of interference with perhaps even our conscious energy in terms of how light, reflects and interacts. And the observer.
Oh, hold on, Amara. I was about to ask David, is that noise coming from your room? I hear a lot of...
No, that's the TV at Cathy's house.
Or somebody. Does somebody have a TV or... I hear a whole bunch of, feedback. And, I mean, I'm not trying to pick on nobody, but I'm just like, it's just like, I don't want nobody to have to scream. And I hope y'all can hear what I'm saying, too.
Oh, yeah, I
hear it.
Where is that feedback coming from?
I don't know. I have my headphones in, but I don't think there would be
Okay. Well,
I mean, someone mowing the lawn outside of my house, but it's stopped now.
No.
Oh no,
It's not that. This is like I can hear. It seems like maybe it's my microphone. Because like I can hear myself talking a second time.
Your side.
Huh? It's coming from my side.
It's happening.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I need to go out and come back or something. Because I'm like, this don't make no sense.
There's a active sound canceling to where any sound that goes out of the speakers doesn't get sent back through the microphone, so that could be malfunctioning.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it is.
Turn your mic off real quick and turn it back on. See if that works.
Yeah, I'll try. Hold on. Yeah, that's definitely what's coming from my mic. Because as soon as I stopped talking, then it stopped making that noise. Okay, so hold on a second. Let me try something. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything.
I can hear an echo.
Hello? Oh, wow. Oh, let me see. I'm just going to have to go out and come back in.
Oh, that's coming from my side.
It is?
Wait, is it?
Wow. Okay, never mind.
Hold on. Oh, that's mine.
Is it?
No.
I don't know. I don't hear it, so I'm not sure.
Oh, Cathy, are you using speakers?
No, I'm on a laptop.
Oh, okay. Do you have headphones in?
Mm-mm.
No.
I usually do. Not this time.
Okay, I think that might be it, because if there's sound coming from the computer, it might bounce back and then you might hear echoes.
Oh, okay. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh. Well, I wonder, David, if it's our two computers, because, see, you're in that other room, and then I know I can hear Oreo barking, and I can hear it coming back through, so it might be just that sensitive.
Oh, yeah, that could be.
Yeah, we're like on the
Small
same,
space.
small space type of thing. It's getting darker and darker in here. I just realized how dark it is in here. This is crazy. Let me.
I was gonna kind of jump in with what you were saying, Amara.
Yes.
Because, that actually sounded like some stuff I've been reading about lately about as far as the energetic shifts and stuff happening on the earth and how we're rising in vibration, but there's also these signals being sent out, or also just like things of the past that the earth is releasing to kind of vibrate at a higher level, is affecting other people, and their antennas with source. When these things are released back into the air, it affects others that are around as well. And like I think it's possible, but I think if you're connected to these like if you're watching something and it's live, and there might be a delay maybe because you're watching it through a camera or through a TV screen. Mm-hmm. I feel as though if you're connected, like energetically, or if you're tuned in, your antenna is open to it, and you're tuned in. I feel like it can kind of affect you just as quick, maybe just off by a millisecond or so. But it depends on the connection. I think that's what it is. I don't know. That's just my thought.
I see.
Well, like I say, all things are possible. Anything is possible. So I'm just like,
True. Very, very, very true.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Like, it does feel like just as long as there is an observer, there has to be an observer in order for there to be a reaction. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Exactly.
These things we're dependent on these types of things. There's this wouldn't exist unless I actually observed it.
Right.
How are we supposed to observe existence or answers if we are not there? We're trying to take out realism from this, an objective experience, but it feels like everything is subjective and everything does depend on you in the end. So I completely agree.
Exactly. So that's what I learned. I'm like, it totally like just, how that thing that just goes like this, like went over your head, that type of thing. And then the cool thing also is that there's no right or wrong answers. You know, the way you choose to experience your life, you know, or you know what I'm saying, your existence is totally up to you. There are no right or wrong answers. So it's like I can't say, well, Cathy, you know, you can't do this unless you do that, or you can't have this unless you do this first, or that none of that exists. These are all constructs that people have, you know, built up in their own minds based on, especially the mass consciousness of, you know, in our reality. That's definitely coming from between my room and his. It's got to be. That is so sensitive.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, David, do you have speakers?
Maybe I'm going to return.
Or if you guys have a door, maybe closing a door to kind of like break the sound thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Or David, aren't you listening to yours on your speakers? You don't have a headset, do you?
Oh, the headset doesn't work.
Oh, he does have a headset. Oh, we can't hear you.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
The headset.
I can't hear you.
I have some that don't.
I'm not sure if your headset has. It would have to probably be like one of mine that has the microphone built into it. I had an extra headset in here. I don't know where it is. I bet it's in that little bag thing. Isn't that amazing, though?
It's Mercury, y'all.
Huh?
Mercury being in retrograde messes with your technology.
We can't hear you still. I think it probably took you from off of your speakers, I mean your computer speakers, to your headset. Now it's got to take time to come back to your computer speakers again or whatever microphone. I don't hear a thing you're saying. I see your lips moving, but I don't hear anything. Am I supposed to be reading your lips? Huh? Never mind, child. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to go and look at the bag.
David, the group chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, David, you see that chat thing on the side of your thing? There's a well, he just went out and come. Once he goes out and comes back, I guarantee he'll start working again.
But yeah, I don't know if anybody's been feeling the retrograde. I think I spoke about it last time we met online. Or if you guys have heard of Mercury going into retrograde. I think I mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I don't know. I ignore stuff like that. I hear it, but I'm like, I'm not feeling none of that. I ain't getting ready to be dealing with none of that right there. I'm getting ready to adapt and overcome everything, whatever challenges there are. That's just how I am. That's just within my nature. I never pay attention to, you know, anything telling me that that's something I can't do, or I don't know, whatever.
Well, I mean, it's not to say that you can't do, but just that there's an extra influence going on during a period of time that may, you know, these certain things might be likely to occur, which I found very true for me. Technology, like more than anything, this time has really like been affected for me. Like I have like an intercom system in my house, and I came home earlier and I kept hearing this like clicking sound, and I was just like, where is this coming from? And it was like random. It wasn't like in a kind of rhythm thing, but it was like clicking, stop for a while, click, and then go, and then, you know, I'm like, what is this coming from? And then it was the intercom system, and I saw it was switching from all these, like, from either the intercom talking to the radio turning on to this to that to this to that. And I'm like,
that's interesting.
Going on? And we haven't used that in a long time. So I was like, okay, but it was getting annoying. I was like, oh my God, stop, like, and, and it was just, I guess it stopped by itself, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that. It's just like little things.
I did hear something like that before with Mercury retrograde, like a lot of things that are unexpected happen and stuff. Like that's at least what one person said about it.
Yeah. Travel plans, if you have travel plans, they sometimes might not always happen, or you might have a lot of delays, or, you know, like I had to plan with my client about her surgery for her shoulder. And we were set on it being on this date, then we needed to go to the check up with a cardiologist because her EKG came back wrong, so she had to postpone it a week. And then she had an infection, so the doctor said, "Oh, you have to come in so we can get a urine sample before the surgery." And we're like, "Oh, the surgery's like 2 days from now. Okay, we have to, go back." And then the surgeon called her and said, "Okay, it's fine." So back and forth, back. I was like, "Okay, when it happens, it happens." It was just like it was a little frustrating, but they say that comes with the this period of time, so. I was a little prepared, but some people, like, she was like, it was getting to her, and I was like, it's okay, it'll happen when it's supposed to, and, yeah, but thankfully it did happen this weekend, but, oh, my God.
Yeah, that's stressful.
Yeah, we're back and forth through all her doctors, and it was kind of crazy, but whatever.
David, are you back?
Yeah, I just put it on my phone instead.
Oh, okay.
My camera should be a little bit better, crispy quality now.
Yeah, it is, but I'm still hearing myself, though. I'm like, oh no, maybe if I talk quieter. If I whisper, I don't hear myself echoing. I think that would be... Seriously. So it's got to be the feedback, because listen, you see, whenever I get loud, I can hear myself again. I start echoing again. That's why I said I guess I'm going to have to whisper. See? Yep, it's definitely feedback going through your phone. You are the culprit. Anyway. But I mean, that's pretty much... Oh, my God. That is awful. Anyway, so let me see. Where was I? I actually have a whole page of show notes. I took all the way off and didn't go over any of my notes for Monday's show at all. I just went off on a tangent. Anyway, but it's always better to be natural anyway. Let it flow in the direction it's supposed to go in. Okay, David, go ahead.
Oh, well, basically, I was just going to tag off of everything that you've been saying this whole time. And basically say, first of all, I would like to say that, sometimes even if you're not, looking out for yourself, sometimes the universe will look out for you as well, because just think about the fact that all I was doing was comment like I always do with my, fiery posts on libertarian pages and stuff like that. And then that guy, Daniel Pacala, saw me and sent me that message, to preside over the organization at West Georgia. So, I mean, I wasn't expecting that, didn't plan it, didn't ask for it, didn't know it was going to happen. But then all of a sudden, the summer hits, and all of a sudden I see the message, that had been there for a good 2-3 months, but he still had, the position available. He hadn't offered it to anybody else. And, that right there is just, to me, that shows that, even if you're not conscientiously looking out for the universe, I feel like sometimes it will, send things in the right direction for you, just because, it's got your back even when you're not watching it for yourself. So sometimes when people or things come along, I think that it is smart for us to definitely flesh out and see every different thing that those people have to offer, just because you never know who that could be. That could be, somebody who might offer you a job in the future, somebody who might end up being, a CEO or something at the company one day, and then all of a sudden, you were broke for years, and then they call you back. And then like, well, you might not have any experience, but just because, I know you, I'm going to go ahead and let you come in and head up the company because I got to leave now. So take it over. So
that's
you never
true
know
too.
what might happen when you're not, watching, when you're not paying attention. Sometimes things will just come and then it'll slap you in the face with good. Sometimes it might slap you in the face with bad. Kind of like if you're playing Monopoly, when you roll the dice, you never know what you're going to land on. Sometimes you might go to jail. Sometimes you might, go backwards. Sometimes you might have to pay somebody. But then you always end up
That's a good actual
you always end up, somehow coming back around to reach your ultimate destiny anyway, just because nobody can go off track too far without, the universe at least helping or nothing or sending some kind of sign back in the right direction. Because what would be the point in us living, and what would be the point in the universe allowing us to come into these bodies, and it wouldn't at least nudge us or give us some sense of direction, as to what way that we need to go in, whether we, go through life experiences or things like that push us down. You would think that we would still have some kind of roadmap, like they always say that there's no, handbook to raising children, yet, mothers are able to do it, you know.
Have an instinct, right?
And you know, it's just however they're supposed to have done it. Usually they raise people, and you know, people end up the way that they're supposed to be, you know, one way or the other, or they end up, you know, missing something, but they may end up getting it later in life. You never know. So,
yeah, you never know. You know what I kind of think of it as? I think of it as like that thing that they call fate. You know, because I've heard different people say that before you come here, you have like it's kind of like something that you agreed to do. Oh. Yeah. It's like something that you agreed to do or you purposed to do before you got here. And so it's like the forces of fate, you know, I say it quote unquote, because it's like you have like a certain bent, you know, a certain direction that you always tend to go in. You know, it's part of like your personality, like your database personality or whatever that you kind of brought here with you, that's kind of taking you, and you kind of like have a desires to do certain various things, but there's still no wrong answers. You know, you're probably going to go around and do certain things anyway, but how you get there is not always a straight line. You may go here and do this and there and do that, and you know, blah 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 blah, but you're having fun. That's the whole purpose of this whole journey, is to test and play with the consciousness that we're projecting, and you know, just have fun with it. You know, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can have. Let's see what we can, pull together, you know, in a group of people or whatever. So it's all about whatever, just whatever, you know. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that.
I'm gonna mute my microphone while y'all talk.
Take those headphones off. Don't you have isn't there a microphone that's on the front of that camera? I mean, on the front of that computer?
There is. Let's see how that works.
Yeah, take those headphones off.
Yeah, you could try it out. Might work.
Your microphone's on mute.
It's something that's still weird that's going on. Or is it?
Well, Tallah.
Does she have a microphone for that? I don't know. Is that a laptop or a desktop?
I don't know. There's an icon that says that. Yeah, the microphone's off. Or it's not connected.
What's going on?
Her microphone is like the icon says the microphone is I don't know, either not connected.
Yeah, see, now I'm back.
Awesome.
It doesn't like it when I disconnect this headset for whatever reason.
You may have to configure it.
Well, we'll just have to work on technical stuff, I guess, next time. Oh.
I know y'all see the Bantu knots.
Yeah, I like that.
What's going on here? Yeah, I decided to just twist my hair up. I had nothing better to do.
Awesome.
I was gonna say about jumping onto what you guys were talking about. I think I read something on Facebook a while back. I totally forgot how it went, but it was like something about how if life wasn't a straight line, we wouldn't learn anything, and everything would just be pretty, boring, and there wouldn't be anything to life really. It would be so easy, and I mean, what do you get out of that anyway? Like, like what David was saying, but you're not going to get there in a straight line. You're going to get there in circles and U-turns and lines going in the wrong direction. Maybe doing a big circle coming back around, but that's all part of it. It's those mistakes or those weird occurrences or those flaws and stuff, and the whole thing is part of the experience. Because learning, and it makes it interesting. It does.
It does.
You can try the little expectations and stuff like, you expect the outcome of what it is, but you just don't know how you're going to get it. And it makes it kind of fun, though. It makes it fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's part of what I'm learning, man. I'm just like, man, I've been sitting here this whole time. You guys know how long I've been here? That's neither here nor there. However, I'm just saying, I mean, I didn't realize until now. I think I'm coming, kind of like into that realization. You know how it's kind of like you're part of your ascension and part of your evolution as a human. you know what I'm saying, in this physical plane or whatever, you're kind of like evolving and morphing, you know, into this, I guess, ascendant being or whatever. So I'm kind of like coming into a whole nother, you know, realm of thought and being. It took me a while to get here, but I'm just so happy to have learned something new. I'm like, wow, you know, I didn't even know who I was. I mean, when I first got here, I was clueless, like the first half, you know, well, the first half of the time that I've been here, you know, through high school, through elementary school. I mean, you know, through your higher self, you have a feeling of, but you don't really come into it until you start to study and, you know, seek out and figure out, like, what the hell am I really doing here? You know, is this the way life is supposed to be, or is there something else? So that's kind of like, I've been on this journey for, I would say I've been on this journey really for, I would say that the second portion of this part leading up until now, I was on a spiritual journey, and I came through to my spiritual journey through Christianity, and, you know, wanting to know God was my entryway into spirituality. But like I say, some of the things that I learned about God, you know, during that period in time, it was definitely helpful. You know, definitely the Bible has a lot of good stuff in it. I'm learning more and more that I don't even want to speak against really anybody's religion, because religion is a gateway. It's a gateway to spirituality. But people, when you turn it into a religion with dogma, that's when it ruins your spirituality, and you start to box yourself into this limited being, and you're not limited by any means, you know. And, you know, a lot religion boxes in with rules and regulations, and you're this, you're not that, you're wrong, you're right, you know. And all these people are fighting over all this ridiculous stuff. And it's like, all of this is so pointless. What are we arguing for? You know, we're all the same person. And, you know, like I say, it's like source fighting against itself, you know, through these ego personalities. And when you start to realize this, what we're really all here for and who we really are, it's like you start to say to yourself, this shit is so freaking pointless. What the hell did I have these opinions for? Why am I judging people? There's no reason for me to judge anybody. If you come here and you choose to experience your life as source on this planet or in this plane in this manner, that's up to you. I have nothing to do with that. So whether you're Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, Krishna, Catholic, whether you're gay, straight, drag queen, what do you call that? Transsexual, transgendered. You're choosing to have your experience in that manner, and you're not wrong for that. So I mean, you know, and no one else is right. I don't have the right to tell somebody else, to tell source how it wants to experience itself through this or that individual. This is source trying to experience itself as both individuals. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all really no sex. You know what I'm saying? We just happen to be in a bodily frame that one happens to have, you know, this set of genitalia, and this over here has this set of genitalia, but we're all capable of all the same, you know, because there's men doing women's jobs, there's women doing men's jobs, you know, there's all this variety among us, and there's no reason to it's all these constructs that are built up saying that girls should only play with dolls, boys should only play with trucks, boys shouldn't be nurses, girls shouldn't be airline pilots. All of this stuff is so crazy. You know, the stuff that we actually think and believe, and we're building up this crazy stuff, and it's like, really? It's laughable.
I mean, I agree with it. I definitely do, but I feel like it's part of the process because people have lost their connection with a little bit. I mean, we're always connected to source, but actually losing that alignment with source for such a long time that it's the new generations or the new people with these, you know, very eccentric ideas that cut out of or just like jump out of those illusions and are like, well, wait a minute. They take a step back and looking at it from a bigger spectrum and just saying, wait a minute, this is not even what it's all about and stuff, and just getting out of the little distractions of everyday life or little things that other people also pull you into, you know, in many different ways. But I was also going to bring up, because I remember last time you had spoke about people with their egos and everything, and how you said something about our us as an individual, like our personality, like me, Cathy, is my ego. Without this persona of Cathy, I'm everybody else. You know, I'm exactly the same. But this persona that I've created in my life, has created that, you know, that ego personality of myself. You know, this archetype of you know, and I can talk in a third person, and it would actually make perfect sense. You know, Cathy Cathy does that, or Cathy does not. You know, or Cathy's more
banana pie, or exactly.
Know? Yeah, and I thought that was so interesting. It's very profound. It's so simple, but very true. Very true.
Oh, now I got all this noise in the background. Phone ringing. Go away. I'm not at home. But yeah, that was so cool. Amara and David, I was watching this video of this guy, and he was saying that, you know, if we look at ourselves as source, and he said that he had gotten to the point where he looks at himself so much as source that when he calls himself by the name of the ego personality that he assumed when he got here, he's like, you know, it's weird for him to even think of himself because his name is Carl. So he says, it's weird for me to think of myself as Carl. You know, what is that? That's an ego personality. It's, you know, it's not even really me. He's so in sync with source that, you know, he's like, that person is, you know, the only reason he even projects himself out as that personality is because he has to use that personality to interact with his world. You know what I'm saying? The physical plane. Yeah, so it's the same with all of us. You know, we're all the same person. So in fact, I'm sitting here talking to myself. Hello, me. Hello, me.
Yeah.
Hello, me named
Hello,
me named Catherine. Hello, me named David. And then hello, me named Tallah. You know, we're all sitting here as the same person. We're all source, projecting ourselves individually through a physical vehicle, the body. So it's just funny.
Also, you were talking about the multi-dimensions, how they all, you know, the occurrence of it all at once, and how we are not just, you know, this one, you know, being. We have several parts of us that we interact with or whatever. I guess you could see it in that kind of way that we jump from different worlds because we do live in one world, one big bubble, but there's so much in there going on that we are like in different worlds, really.
Yeah.
And we're interacting with them simultaneously. I'm sure there's a much, you know, more in depth or like broader aspect of it, like the astral world, but we experience it here as well. Like with different social groups that we probably interact with, different ones from different organizations or maybe at school versus at home and work and stuff. It is different worlds. And I don't know, I find that to be interesting now that I think about it. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm like, this is so cool. I'm so glad that my understanding, I mean, I feel like, I would say, quote unquote, more enlightened now. And that's a blessing to me. I'm like, oh my God, you know, it's like the blinders are coming off my eyes and I'm seeing this whole thing as it really is, you know, so all things are possible. You know, we just have to take the construct. We have to take the box off and start to see ourselves for who we really are. And that's what minimizes you as an individual is all this construct, this you know, this mental reality. It's really it comes from the mass consciousness because we're all thinking that, oh, you know, this is this and that is that. And if you really thought about it, none of that is true. This is this and that is not that. It's only that if you want it to be that. It's only this if you want it to be this. You know, it only exists because you, the observer, are making it so. So whatever, dude. You know, so like when I go on Facebook now, whereas I used to like read people's posts and be like, you know, I can't believe these people are saying this stuff on Facebook. That is about the dumbest damn thing I think I've ever heard. Now I'm just like, you know, I wonder what is making, you know, this ego personality, you know, wow, that's how they feel. That's interesting. I'm starting to actually examine that this is this person's ego personality experiencing their existence in this manner. And, you know, whether they be super negative or whether they be super positive or whether they be, you know, like there's this one guy on there, he's always screaming about politics and talking about, you know, fuck this and fuck that, you know, fuck Facebook. And I'm just like, dude, you know, but at the same time, I'm like, that's his choice. He's choosing his reality in that manner. I cannot change him, nor should I, because that's source making that choice through this particular ego personality. So I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. I don't even comment on half the stuff anymore. It doesn't even bother me. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go right past it. So I'm just like, oh God, I just never saw it this way in such a light before. All this stuff that people are dramatizing and going through. I mean, in my opinion, I'm like, why do you bother to go through that? But then I'm like, it's because I understand it better now. But I'm like, but I see it for what it really is, and it's just, I mean, it's becoming free. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
From the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I
Anyway, I'm so
agree.
sorry. Yeah, go ahead, y'all.
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
it's like, oh no.
I know I talk so much. I can't
No,
help myself.
no. Everything that you're saying was completely insightful. It's almost like you're a seed and you don't realize that we're all connected, and then you're
Mhm.
just breaking free from, mass consciousness and
Mhm.
shallow realism of thinking that everything is going to be the same,
Mhm.
and that's just the way the world is, and all these different types of things that just
Yeah.
boxes you in.
Exactly.
And it's like you don't realize that you're comparing the future to the past, and you don't
Mhm.
realize that the future will never be the past. The future is the future. The
Right.
future will become the present soon,
Mhm.
but there's always going to be something unknown to you. And
Mhm.
to make it seem as if you can predict something that's unknown is, there's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
And it all ultimately perhaps depends on you and your perception. So,
That's exciting. I'm glad you just mentioned that because there is a girl had an interview with Carl English, and her name is Kidest Ohm, Kidest Ohm. So she's
mhm,
calling herself Kidest Ohm. That's her ego personality or whatever. So anyway, this is what she said. She, in her talks, and I noticed that as she was talking, she said that at some point in time, she was able to actually see events, quote unquote, 3 years into the future from today. I know what she means by that. She just jumped to a parallel reality version of herself that was witnessing those events because all time is now.
mhm,
But I understand what she means in the space time aspect of the dimension that we live in. She was able to see something down the path, and I don't know how you, but you guys have all had deja vu's. You've all had dreams where you dream something and then suddenly you were there, like some time later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm just like, that is just so freaking cool. So I said, that's my next quest. After I finish doing this part, so see how you can play. If once you get this knowledge, you can actually begin to play with reality at will. So
mhm,
that's my next quest, is to begin to be able to see, what do they call it? Remote. It's like a remote viewing. I want to start to begin to go and see things that are not in this perspective and see it down the road or see it someplace else and then come back with the knowledge. You see what I'm saying? That's what I would like to do next, which I think is going to be really cool. But I mean, I do it anyway because I've had several dreams over my lifetime where in the dream it was like so real, and I'm like, why am I seeing this? And then like, but the first dream that I actually remember is when I dreamed about I was in a classroom, and I was like, okay, and it was just so real, it had an impact on me that I felt like that was an interesting dream. And then this was when I moved in the 5th grade from Atlanta to Stone Mountain. And when I got to my 5th grade classroom, well, in the dream, I could see a classroom. I saw a projector right here on the right hand wall. I could see the whole row of windows in front of me. But like I said, I just kind of blew it off. But I mean, but for some reason, I had a feeling about that dream, but I just kind of shoved it off because I didn't know what it meant at that time. But
mhm,
the school is called Jolly Elementary, and when I walked into my 5th grade class, it was like, boom, deja vu. There's the projector on the wall. Here's the wall full of windows that I saw, and I'm like, well, wow, I saw into the future. That's pretty freaking awesome, you know?
mhm,
So, but that was just kind of a passive thing that happened to me. But imagine doing that at will, like astral travel. You know what I'm saying? So instead of it just being a passive reality to you or a passive thing that you do to see into other dimensions, what about starting to do it, whenever you feel like it? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just say, hey, I want to go see what's happening in Hawaii. What the hell? I'm going to take a nap, see where I can go, you know?
It reminds me of that movie Jumper.
Exactly.
That was so. I love that movie. That is so awesome because it's just
Yeah.
like anywhere you focus on,
Hmm.
you're there, and
Yeah.
that's it. Just boom, and so instant and simple.
Yeah. Isn't that
But
the funny thing though that movies really actually end up being reality? We go to the
yeah,
movie theater and watch movies and think, "Oh, that's really a neat concept," but it's not really a concept. It's actually real, but we just don't know that it's untapped power. It's untapped potential,
true.
human potential.
And I
Yeah.
guess that's why, I mean, there's so many people that say so much about the entertainment industry and how, how it is a distraction to us. I guess reality TV more than anything, but
Hmm.
Mhm.
in a sense, it's a creative outlet, just like, that's where actors usually go anyways that are into like, drama and like, performing, or comedians because they can see this in their mind and they
Hmm.
bring it to life in a way from their perspective
Oh yeah.
the world and it makes it very interesting, yeah. And
Yeah.
then you can see it from different generations too. Like if they
Hmm.
remake King Kong from like,
Hmm.
the 60s and stuff
Hmm.
to like now, it's like it's such a different King Kong, but it's like so cool at the same
Yeah.
time. And it's really, yeah, it's like visiting different perceptions and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
David,
cool.
where are you?
Hmm?
Are
I'm in
you
the
in the
kitchen.
kitchen?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was like, what in the world? Why am I seeing like the walls in your room changed? I thought you had jumped timelines and went like to a version of
Right.
our house like in the past or something. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm
Already
like the
there.
walls in the whole house used to be that color. That's why I was like, hold on,
Oh.
dude, done jumped realities already. What's really
Oh
going
God.
on?
He's actually already there, right?
Yeah, exactly. And brought us like a perception of himself and like channeled it back to us. I'm like, oh my
Well, it's
God,
probably me anyway in a good
blowing
few
my
years
mind.
anyway. I'm probably going to end up having an office chair in the kitchen when I'm
Yeah, I
finished.
was gonna say, what the heck?
I mean, that
Okay,
is a
then.
good idea when you go to cook, get
Hmm.
yourself an office chair, put
Hmm.
your office chair in the kitchen, then just cook. In fact, I'm gonna
Speaking
start
of
doing
that,
that. I've already done that before.
I will be right back. I'm getting some mac and cheese,
Okay.
if that's
Yummy.
okay.
Oh no, we're good. Yeah.
Funny. I
So,
just thought of that. Maybe
oh
one
my
day
God.
we can experiment or I don't know.
Yeah.
I had listened to this the Hay House radio and there
Hmm.
was like this I forgot who was having their show at the time, but they had a guest come on and they had talked about wearing hats,
Hmm.
wearing like funky like weird kind of hats
Hmm.
whatever for the show just to not be themselves, to
Yeah.
be silly and to like kind of touch with their inner child and stuff. And I
Right.
wonder if maybe we could have like a segment or maybe a show
Hmm.
exploring that. Like we can just like change the backdrop, get
Yeah.
into character, and totally just yeah get it. It's like a different ego, but it's not. It's like a different mask or something,
Hmm.
and it might be interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. Why not? Hey, I'm up for anything. You know what? That's what I was reading off of this one person's website. Steven Tyler, as a matter of fact, Steven Tyler is I think he's the lead singer of Aerosmith. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, this is what he said about this whole consciousness thing. He said when he was, trying to become a rock star, basically what he did is he pretended to be the person. He says, I pretended to be the person I wanted to be until I became that person.
Oh
Make it till
wow.
you make it.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. So Pastor Dollar was right in that fact when he was saying fake it till you make it. If you, I mean, even if you can't see what I'm saying, the reality of it projected into your reality right now, just keep faking it. Be that person until you become that person. So it's actually real. You sometimes I guess maybe people would, because I know at one point in time I kept hearing that. I said, I know that's real, but I don't understand why it's real. But now it's like I see it, yes, yes. The observation, if you're observing yourself becoming
Mhm.
someone else, eventually you're going to become that observation of yourself. So
Mhm.
it's like that's that mirror concept. Remember, did I talk to you about that
Right.
one time when I went into my bathroom mirror and I was looking because I have two mirrors that face each other just like this?
All right.
And when I see myself, I can see the realities or the images curving around, and it just keeps
Right.
repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating.
Yeah.
But if you notice, if you go and step into a mirror, your mirror is not going to smile at you. You are the person who if you want to see a smile, you have to smile into the mirror in order for it to be reflected back to you around that infinity loop. You know what I'm saying? So it just
Yeah.
keeps looping
That's
back and
really
looping back and
cool.
looping back. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So I
makes
was
sense.
like,
That's a really great example of it. Because I
mm-hmm,
remember one time we were Skyping, me and you,
uh-huh,
and I had picked up to my phone and on the laptop, and you remember there was like these different perspectives of, we had
uh-huh.
like three different things or four things going on, and then we did go into like something like that, a loop,
Yeah,
where it
it
was
was
like,
like a tunnel, and we
we
kept
were
seeing
like,
it
oh my
happening
gosh,
over and
we're in
over
the
and over and
future or
over.
something.
We're like,
Yeah,
what the hell happened? Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
That's
So maybe that
that's
was like
a
the
great example though. Yeah, you
I,
start with yourself, your own reflection,
right,
and then it boom starts to go out and
right.
to those different realities or those different times and stuff.
Yeah. So that was like the portal. We stepped through the portal that day, Kathy. I don't think we've ever turned back
Oh,
since
the
then.
portal.
Yeah. We stepped through the reality portal and didn't even realize it that day. We went
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's that.
Exactly.
That's really pretty on much all I think I pretty much already
Oh,
said.
is there any updates on the show?
Well, my whole thing is that the way things are working right now is that money wise, I'm looking at the fact that, well, maybe I need to stop the broadcast if we're going to start going into detail issues.
Well,